What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Bigfoot Report. I am your host, Wayne, joined as always by my partner in crime, the lovely and talented Miss Tiffany. What's up, ma'am, other than breaking your hip on the dance floor?
Y'all, I am not 24 anymore.
You're not?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I used to tear it up when I was young. I got tore down tonight. I mean, it's like I was telling you backstage, Teresa, our middle daughter, she was like, Mom, I know you still got it. I know you can do it. And she's talking about twisting all the way down and then all the way back up. Well, I tried. And then my knees locked up, but then I couldn't stand back up. And I just fell over and I pulled her over on top of me. And Zach had to help me off the floor. But her photographer got everything on video.
Okay, so are we sharing that tonight or what?
What? No, I don't have it. Her photographer does. But I'm telling you, it was beautiful. It was, and Kaylee cried like Zach drove her down to the gazebo on a golf cart, and she was crying before she even got out of the golf cart. So then I'm crying. And I look down the aisle, and Teresa and Carrie are like sobbing, and Daryl, her husband, is crying, and Zach's walking down. He's trying to lighten the mood, right? And he's like, "Oh my God, everybody's staring at us. Must have mustard on my shirt."
Did he have mustard on his shirt?
No, not in reality. But it was.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet.
Yeah, it was really.
I'm of the feeling if you cry at the wedding, you really love that person.
Right. Yeah. Yep. And I did more videos than pictures. That way I could go through and just screen grab it. Because when Zach and Kaylee danced, oh my gosh, Wayne, the way she looked at that man, she just looked up into his eyes. That's her dad. And so she's like, Mom, don't look at me. I'm going to cry.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Good for her. Sounds like it was awesome. Can't wait to see some pictures and
of course,
all of that good stuff. I wish them the absolute best.
Yes.
Now, was he the one that's been on?
No, that's Tim with Teresa, our middle daughter.
I can't keep up with all your family. I'm sorry.
It's okay. No, it's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
I can't. I was talking to Chris Blaylock this past weekend. Her young, I think it's her youngest, just had a baby, and I'm like, "Well, is that the one that came on? What is it? Which one is it?" So I don't know. I suck at it. It's not on purpose, guys. I have a terrible memory.
Oh, I did get a video because Zach's in here, and he said I have no voice left because Zach can sing. Okay, y'all will see that in Tennessee if you request it. He'll sing. He doesn't care. So the DJ, Daryl had walked out, the husband had walked out, and the DJ's like, no, come back here, groom. I got something for you. And he played Enter Sandman. So Zach grabbed the microphone.
All right.
Yeah, Zach grabbed the microphone and Inner Sandman it the whole song. So I do have video of that, I think.
One of these days, I'll tell y'all my Inner Sandman story. It's creepy as hell. It's like I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but the short version of it, I heard the song Inner Sandman in my dreams before it ever came out.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
The video
But
crazy.
yeah, it is. It is. But we got a guest backstage. It is our After Hours Saturday show. First one we have done in a hot minute. So happy to be back. Looks like we got a full chat room. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with us this evening. Hope we don't disappoint. We have Mr. Richard backstage from Florida. He will be coming out to talk about Bigfoot, but we got some bills to pay.
Yep.
So we is going to do that. Guys, if you are new to the show, it seemed like I saw a couple of new names out there tonight. Thank you and welcome. If you like what you see, we hope that you do. You will hit that subscribe button and share, spread the word, help Miss Tiffany and I continue to grow the show.
And if you would like to be on with Wayne and I, you can reach out to both of us, Wayne at paranormalworldproductions.com or me, Tiffany at paranormalworldproductions.com. We are booking for July. Some of the dates, though, are going to be scattered because we are leaving for the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference on the 24th. So, but still, reach out to us, send us your encounters. We still narrate them, and we can hook you up.
ParanormalWorldProductions.com is the name of our website. Please head over there and check it out. All of the different shows under the studio's umbrella. Seems like bless his heart, Brian's adding a new show every 6 months. So head over there and check them out. He is the hardest working man in podcasting. Very good friend of mine. Be recording an episode of that Bigfoot podcast in the morning with him. And that really is one of my most favorite times of the week, getting to hang out with my buddy and do that. So that Bigfoot podcast is one of the shows that you can check out, pick you up some merch, sign up for the Bigfoot newsletter, all of that amazing stuff at paranormalworldproductions.com.
And if you have any questions for tonight's guest, please put them in all capital letters. The chat can sometimes it started to like where it just rolls, and it's easier for me or for Wayne to just grab up your questions and highlight them if they're in all capital letters. And we do the Q&A at the last 10 minutes of the show, and we'll get your questions out there.
Absolutely. Manimalresearch.org. That is our website for the research organization that I founded back in 2019. Miss Chris Blaylock, you heard me speak of her earlier. She is the administrator of the group. She handles all of that stuff and does just a kick-ass job over there. She built our website, she maintains it, and she has been very, very instrumental in helping me with the Squatch Out this year and just everything as an organization. She has been a big help with that. But manimalresearch.org is a place to go if you believe you are having Bigfoot activity on your property and you would like to have someone come out and check it out. We would love to be the ones that you trust to do that. We have papers we'll sign, guaranteeing that we'll leave everything as we found it and not liable for anything. We just want to come and check out your property if you believe you're having activity. And also, if you would like to get involved in doing some of this, going out and checking out new areas, I'd love to talk to you about that. Manimalresearch.org is the place to go to get all of that set up.
Yes. And if you would like to become a channel member, it's only $1.99 a month. We offer so many extra perks. If you can just subscribe, please just do that. The $1.99 a month just affords you extra perks that we offer to our channel members, and they're really like family. And at the end of this, no, I'm in the wrong month. In July, We will be going to the Smokies, and if you're a member and you're going to be in the area, you can come have dinner with us. But while I'm on this topic, let me preface in saying we just ask that you be respectful at the property because Chris and Gary did rent this, and everything falls back on them if something happens. So, but yeah, I mean, the $1.99 affords you so many different things. And it just goes to help us fund what it is that you see.
Absolutely. And I do want to touch on that just for a second. As you said, there are many things that you get for that $1.99, but the one that we're going to, pound right now is the event that we have coming up next month. And we would love to meet some of you guys in person if we haven't. If you are a member and you're in our area, going to be at the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference, come eat dinner with us on Saturday night. We would love to have you. We'd love to meet you. We'll sit around the fire. Just not telling what we're going to do that night. Again, we're not inviting you to stay with us because all the rooms are full. It's a massive cabin. It's like oh my God, it sleeps like 15, 16, something like that. I don't know. But everything's full. So we're not inviting you to sleep there. We're inviting you to come and eat dinner with us on Saturday night, which is the night of the conference. We'd love to meet you and hang out with you. If we've already met you, come and hang out as well. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome time. And I can go ahead and announce that I will be a part of the roundtable for that event for the Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference. I'll be up there with several other guest speakers. Mr. Adam Davies is leading that talk. And I've known for quite some time now that I was going to be a part of it, but it wasn't made official until this past week. So yeah, I will be a part of the roundtable discussion. So I hope to see you all there and come show some support. We would love it.
Sorry, all right. I had to unmute myself.
Because you're so unprofessional.
No, I'm telling you. Y'all are going to see me. I'm kind of shifted in my seat. I'm just a little sore. Sorry.
Yeah. Lastly, guys, before we get to Richard backstage, if you notice at the bottom of the Cash App, the Venmo is open. You guys know all about that. Not going to pound that in you at all. If you can help us out in that way, that would be greatly, greatly appreciated. All right, Tiffany, remind everyone about who we have backstage.
We had Richard Farabee on a month ago, and he is a researcher, boots on the ground. Nothing stops this man. This man will be out in the blazing heat. Okay, I think they had temperatures where he was at. I think the last time he was on was like 103, but they've since increased with this nasty, disgusting heat wave, and he's still out there, y'all. He's still out there.
It's been so hot.
Oh my God, it's been so gross. But he always comes with a great energy and great excitement in what it is that he talks about. And what does he talk about? Bigfoot. So we are happy to bring him back on with us this evening for part 2.
All right. Thank you, Larry Sharp. Just gifted a membership to the channel. Thank you very much, buddy. All right. All of that very well said, ma'am. We are going to get Dick out.
Hey,
what's up, buddy?
I became a member a little while back, and
You
I
did?
haven't got my free T-shirt. So I'm just saying.
We'll get you a T-shirt, man.
I'm just saying, I ain't got my free T-shirt.
To be completely honest, I don't even have a Bigfoot Report T-shirt.
Yeah, no, we're working
because you got to become a member.
Yeah, I mean,
but we're working on that.
$10.99. Yeah. I'll hook you up, dude.
Yeah, I got plenty of Paranormal Odyssey shirts in the back there. I can just give away, but no, I don't. As far as I know, we haven't even printed any Bigfoot Report shirts. I know I haven't.
I know me and Zach had talked
Tiffany,
about.
leave me hanging.
I'm talking. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Wayne is buffering on his sound a little bit.
Okay. It's fine.
That's
No, me
okay.
and
We
Zach
got
had talked
Tiffany.
about doing the t-shirts for all of y'all. So I mean, still working on it. My face fell apart, and we got all this wedding stuff, and
I was just being a smart aleck. Now I'm creating something.
All right. Well,
I'm creating rumors. No, Wayne has not been drinking tonight.
Well, it sounds like I am lagging. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hand it over to Tiffany. Tiffany, get Richard started, and I'm going to sign off and sign back on and see if maybe that will fix my issue. Okay.
Okay.
We don't need Wayne.
Get out of here.
His name's on the show, but it's just for show.
Just sit over there and look pretty.
Yeah, just sit over there and smile. Since Tiffany can't right now.
Oh my gosh, it's awful, Richard. It's awful. I miss my tooth so bad. Zach's like, I'm gonna miss you having or not having a tooth, and I'm like, well, I'm glad you will, because I want my tooth back.
Well, I think that the question everybody's asking is, did you put it under your pillow?
No, the dentist kept it.
Ooh, you tell him you need it back because you might get some money.
I know, and it better be more than $1.
I remember when I was a kid, and I had lost a tooth, and my grandmother would put it in this little container, and she put it on the windowsill.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sitting there, and it was like the breeze blew, and the curtains kind of, moved. And then she said, "I think that was the tooth fairy." And I ran over there, and sure enough, there was money in it. But now I know it's probably my granddad going out, and swapping it out or something like that. But they were always good like that.
Yeah. So let's talk Bigfoot. What's been going on with you?
Oh man. Well, I didn't get out last week. Been a rough week. Been a challenging time. We discussed it backstage where, like I said, I'm an independent contractor, and there were some issues there that was pretty stressful that we were dealing with, contract and stuff like that. And then Monday, it seemed like we got it worked out. Everything was good. I felt happy. I was messaging all my team and letting them know that we're good to go. And then I got a phone call and found out one of my team had passed away. So
I'm sorry.
It's been a tough week, and but we move forward and stay focused. We know we have a job to do, and our job is to, protect the people that are there, and that's what we're going to continue to do. But then, today I didn't get out today because I was focused on my vehicle. My bright lights went out, and so I wanted to get that corrected. And we talked about that, that, man, I could really punch an engineer in their face right now. You know what I mean? I appreciate that, Chris. The way they design these vehicles nowadays, you just can't do the work yourself. It's impossible. So I took it to the dealership, Toyota dealership, and had them, simple thing, got there at 9:30 in the morning and said, "Hey, I just need the bulbs changed on my car, just the high beams," and end up being almost a 5-hour ordeal at the dealership, and cost me $264 just to change 2 bulbs, which they sent me to go buy the bulbs and bring them back. So I paid for the bulbs, and it's just one thing after another. So when I finally got home, I just took a Baptist nap, and you know what I mean? So, set my alarm for 8 o'clock. There's 2 things Baptists love to do: nap and eat. So
amen. I'm
Baptist. You yell potluck at a Baptist church, and you got it going on.
Yes.
So basically, just relax today. I'm going to try and get out tomorrow. But again, the heat is very, very tough, and we're in our rainy season. So, and I've shown it in some of the film where there are some areas I went to that were very, very dry. I actually got to go into an area a couple of videos ago on my channel. I've never been able to get into because it was a giant swamp, and I was able to get back there one day, and then I made the comment in the video that give or take a month, this would be impassable, and that's where we're at now. We're getting our you know showers every afternoon and stuff like that. Pretty powerful thunderstorms and lightning, and because Florida is the lightning capital of the world, so we get a lot of lightning.
So does that cool it off, or does that make it worse?
It drops the temperature, but it elevates the humidity. Because you got to remember, streets or even your yard, that rain is hitting really hot surface, and that evaporation is just so hot, and so it makes it miserable. It really does. Just very sticky weather. I tell people all the time, Florida people are the cleanest people in the world because we have to shower like 3 or 4 times a day. You walk outside to check the mail, time to take a shower. Go outside to walk the dog, time to take a shower. Because you're just sweating so bad. It's just, and there's people. I was in the chat room shooting the breeze with everybody before the show, because I'm really oriented towards the chat rooms and stuff. I love it. And a lot of people in your chat are from Florida, so I'm pretty sure they understand that the heat here is just ridiculous.
It's crazy.
I love Florida. I really do. It's we vacation there at least once a year. Go to Panama City, and I love it down there. But man, it's hot as hell. That's a different kind of hot down there. It really is.
It is a different kind of hot. And I had a brother that had come down. He's a big corporate guy, and he was staying with me and my wife at the time. And he was, and he moved his family down finally after a year of traveling from Chicago back weekly. He's flying back and forth from Chicago, and he moved his family down, and they were like, "Holy crap!" And I was like, "Well, when you're up north, you prepare for the winter because you can layer up, you buy certain shoes, certain things that Florida people don't buy. You can't go into Walmart and buy a really heavy winter coat. It's just not going to happen. It's the same in Florida. I mean, we don't stand in the sun. We find shady spots to stand. We drink lots of water. We wear clothing that's cooler. I mean, we prepare. I mean, we do the best that we can. But again,
Richard, let me ask you this, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but while I got it fresh in my mind, you being in Florida, the Bigfoot down there, we tend to call skunk apes, swamp apes. They have a smell. It's always been
because they don't get to shower every day like we do. They're sweating their balls off.
But a lot of the reports down there versus where I am, just a couple states north of you in Tennessee, we get reports of larger Bigfoot. Down there, the skunk ape and the swamp ape, you get reports of them being a little bit smaller. Do you think, is there any way that the heat and just what do you think contributes to that?
Well, I'm a big proponent on it's the environment. Like everybody jokes and says Florida deer are very small. They're not really smaller. They're just leaner. There's not a lot of fat, a lot of hair and stuff because it's just too hot. I'm a big proponent that the skunk ape down here, which is still a Bigfoot as far as I'm concerned, I call it Bigfoot, is thinner because I think if you were, 1,000 pounds compared to, let's say, a skunk ape at 500 pounds or 800 pounds, it's because you can't carry all that weight all the time. I mean, you're burning it off. That calorie intake has to play a part with them just as much as we do. I've lost 15 pounds in the last month because I'm hiking, I'm doing this and stuff like that, and I'm sweating so much. I'm hydrating nonstop. I mean, there's not a restaurant I go to that eat that the only thing I order is water with lemon because I'm just trying to always be hydrated. And I think it's the same with them. I think that's why I focus on areas where I know there's a water source. You know, what I mean, because things have got to get thirsty. I mean, it's tough. It's tough, and I think that's what it is. It thins them out. I think that's why there's reports that the hair is thinner. You know, down here they're not thick. Like when you look at the Patty film, she's very, you know, heavily coated in hair. And I get reports here that they're not so. They've had hair, but they could see the skin through the hair because it's a lot thinner. But I think that's because of the environment. Now in the wintertime, it does get cold here. So they may thicken up during the winter like any animal does and stuff like that. Our dogs do. You know, you get that undercoat and stuff to keep them warm. But
Now,
know,
Richard, give us an idea. How cold does it get in Florida in the winter?
well, I'm considered South Florida, but I consider myself personally Central Florida, Central South. Um, I did a camp out a couple of years ago where I was doing live spots and this and that, and I had that encounter I was telling you guys about where the thing had rubbed the top of my tent. It was 29 degrees that night.
Oh shit, that's
You
cold.
know, well, it is, especially to us that we don't experience that on a regular basis, but it's short lived. You know, it'll drop to 29 by let's say 4 a.m. You know, progressively getting colder and colder and colder, and then by when you wake up in the morning, it's in the 20s. But yet by 10, it's right back up to the 70s. So it
Damn.
doesn't stay. It doesn't last very long. Um, it's not like our creeks and lakes and stuff at 28 degrees, 29 degrees is going to form ice. It doesn't. You know, we still have a lot of residual heat coming off the ground that prevents things from freezing up. Our worst thing is frost. When we have frost scares, because it affects the crops and stuff like that. You know, Florida's a big orange producer, also tomatoes and watermelon and stuff like that. And a frost can affect our crops. You know.
Okay, so Richard, do you have a theory as to why these sons of bitches smell so bad down there?
Like I said, I have two theories. Um, for a long time, my theory was it's just so hot. They stink. It's not like they're bathing every day. So I think it's a natural, nasty body odor. They may have tried to find a skunk to eat and got sprayed. You know, they have no way of getting rid of that. So it might last months or stuff like that because there's more accounts of not smelling something than there is smelling something. I think it just kind of, the name just stuck with skunk ape. But if, and I'm not saying it is, so don't anybody crucify me, but if it is from the primate side, gorillas actually have scent glands, and they use those scent, scent glands during mating season to attract mates, and also as an alert mechanism. That hey, don't mess with me. You know what I mean? Just like a skunk does, it sprays and says, hey, leave me alone. So if the skunk ape is that, maybe it's a scent gland thing that it protrudes. Certain people that are coming in contact, it sees you first, evidently, and it's exerting that to say, go away. This is a proof, it smells bad here. Go away. You don't want to be around here. You know what I mean? Or you might have come across a male that is extruding this because he's in the process of trying to find a female. It could be anything. I mean, any theory is as good as the next theory. See what I'm saying? But those are the ones that make sense to me. So
Yeah, I mean, and you get those same theories and suggestions up here and out west and everything else, but we don't call them skunk or swamp. I just wonder, could there be anything native to the state of Florida or in that area that makes them smell bad? I agree with you. I do think that they have this gland, this maybe a defense mechanism like a skunk. That could be a possibility because apes have that. But why don't we hear about it in other states?
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that is strange, and until we are able to do a very in-depth analysis of these things, which would take having a specimen, we won't know, and our theories are just as good as we
That's
can.
true.
I'm no expert. I tell people all the time, anybody who calls them an expert in his field, that's a major red flag. Back away from that person because there is no
Exactly.
experts. We spend time in the woods. We spend time researching. We spend time collecting evidence. But most of the time, it just creates more questions. And that's why we're out there. We're explorers. We're out there trying to find these answers. Um, it's just, like I said, those are the two things that make sense to me. But the original name for the Florida skunk ape was S.A. capcasti, which is a name from the Seminole Indians, which means tall, hairy man. So they didn't mention anything about a stink. See what I'm saying? I think that's just us. And it might have been created by coincidence. They smelt a skunk at the same time they smelt this, or they smelt something bad or a decomposing animal and happened to see a Bigfoot and put the two together. It could be anything. Like I said, it's all theory until there is someday a specimen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Richard, those are very, very good points. You could be exactly right. It could be just a complete coincidence. A skunk sprayed near a sighting one time. They thought, oh damn, that thing smelled like shit.
Yeah.
But
And like Bristol said,
skunk.
like that question you put up, and I know about that account where they said they saw one and had a stripe down the back, so it kind of got nicknamed Skunk Ape, which is explainable. I mean, we go by our visible looks at things to describe it, and you say a skunk ape because it's an ape and has a stripe. We call it Bigfoot because it has a big foot. You know what I mean? So, yeah, but like I said, any theory is as good as any. And which is funny because I put out, and this is what I was leading to earlier because Tiffany's probably seen these. I do a lot of on my Facebook page, Bigfoot Florida Guy. I've been creating these discussion questions, and they're just to open up discussion. Just let's talk about things that it's not my opinion. I want to hear everybody else's opinion and stuff like that. So I'll put these little discussions out there with a little AI photo of what I'm trying to talk about, and stuff like that, and it's to open people up. Let's hear your ideas. Let's hear your theories and stuff like that. The problem is a lot of people aren't getting the assignment. So I did one of, and it's an AI photo, guys. It's a guy in a tree stand and a Bigfoot walking below it. And I made the discussion was, and I always start them out with, this is for discussion purposes, be respectful. Mm-hmm. And I put it on there. It's like, okay, if you were in this situation, would you take the shot? And if you take the shot or didn't take the shot, what are the consequences of your actions? See what I'm saying? Oh my God. And I posted, and when I do these discussions, I post it on 20 different Facebook pages to get, more input and stuff like that. And people don't see all those comments, only I do. And wow, you talk about some hate.
Yeah, that give us some examples because I know where you're going with this, Richard, and it chaps my ass.
It really, it's some funny stuff too, and I wanted to bring it up because I wanted people to understand and see this show that it's only discussion purposes, and people take it so serious, and they're like, they basically, you're an a-hole for blah blah blah, and then they're like, well, I can tell that photo is fake because your tree stand is too low to the ground. Well, nobody said it was a real photo, dude.
Oh God!
You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just giving you a visual for the.
They don't take the just brief millisecond to just fucking read. Just read what you said. You're not presenting it as a real photo.
Absolutely, and everybody knows I don't hoax, I don't lie, I don't fabricate anything. I just giving you a visual to go with the post. So because it's eye-popping, people see it and they stop for a moment, they want to read the discussion, and then if they have input, put input in. But Jesus Christ, man, I did one where and I used me as a character in the photos. I used me as a character, and just because trademarked. Mm-hmm. So I got this picture of me holding a baby Bigfoot and running, and the discussion was, what would you do in the situation? Would you use it and turn it in and say, "Hey, I've got proof," or would you let it go? I mean, it was. I just want to hear everything.
Well,
Oh
that's
my God! People are like, "You're an a-hole for taking that thing. You need to go put it back." And I'm like, you people do exist. You people are out there. I'm
there are
like,
people that they drive vehicles, guys. These people drive motor vehicles.
I
They
know.
vote. They're allowed to vote. I
These are the
mean,
these are the 12 jurors if you get in trouble. You know what I
are
mean?
you fucking serious right now?
It's
Me,
dude.
you heard me talk about Brian, the host of Sasquatch Odyssey, great friend of mine.
Oh, I
We
know
talk
him
about
very well.
this all the time. He will post like a picture of Bigfoot. Like, just no, it's definitely an AI picture
Right.
of Bigfoot. He's really good at making those. He'll post one and just it'll be about anything in the world. Just a hiker saw a Bigfoot. And instead of reading, someone always will comment, the nose is wrong.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do. We're not presenting it as a real Bigfoot.
No,
Read the fucking caption.
absolutely. And I did one like that where I did a subject A and a subject B. One looked more apish, the other one more human-like. And I asked, if you have seen a Bigfoot, does it more, not, I didn't say, does it resemble this or that? I said, does it more resemble subject A or did it more resemble subject B? You're
Right.
right. People are like, wow, the nose is wrong and this is wrong. Okay, then just say it resembles it, but there are some differences.
And what do
Um,
we say about these dumbasses, these people that say that feel so entitled that they have to take everyone's time and present to them that the nose is different? What are you trying to say? That you've seen them? That you've seen
That's
20 of them?
that's my question. Like, how do you know the nose is different? How do you know
well,
the nose is anything?
right. And I'm like, here's the one that gets me is these people that classify them in different types. Okay. And there's 5 types or 7 types.
Yep.
How do you know? There is no person, plain and simple, on the face of this earth that has seen that many and is able to classify them in types. Now they could take reports but it's like humans. We all look different. See what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I look different from Tiffany. I look different from Wayne. We have different facial, different body types, different things. It doesn't mean it's a different type. It doesn't mean it's a different type.
If you stand me next to a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader,
Well, I
we're,
wouldn't be looking at you.
we're both human. So shouldn't we look the exact same? No. It's fucking stupid.
Well, I use the analogy where, for example, the human race. Okay, we're all the human race, but there's a definite difference between an Asian, an African American, and a Caucasian.
Yes,
Plain
sir.
and simple. Matter of fact, if you dug up their bones, you can still, through DNA and everything else, determine, or bone structure, this was an Asian, this was an African American, and this was a Caucasian.
But
Uh,
we're all human.
right. It's just everybody wants to classify everything and stuff like that. And the bottom line is you go to the Pacific Northwest or you come down to Florida. To me, it's all Bigfoot. It's all one classification. That's it. You know what I mean? Some are bigger, some are smaller, some are different. Big, like I said, it really boils down to environment. You know what I mean? Pacific Northwest or one in Tennessee or something like that may eat different, have a completely different diet than something down here in Florida. Completely different diet. So with that, you have different body changes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to stop doing my little discussion posts, just so y'all know. I'm not going to stop doing it. I
You
enjoy them.
shouldn't,
They're a lot of
man. I
fun.
mean, if anything, you get some laughs from the dumbasses.
Yeah, there's a particular person that we're all aware of that has kind of ruffled some feathers, let's say, in the last few weeks, um, and he would comment on them. and just so negative. I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me, So I don't give him a platform, so I don't respond or
I
anything like that.
really want to know who you're talking about, but I respect you not wanting to mention that.
Yeah, I don't usually. There's a lot of researchers that they may be nice people. I don't agree with their theories or I don't agree with their research and stuff like that. There's platforms that will call them out by name. I just don't because I don't think it benefits anybody really.
Yeah.
But you know who I'm talking about because he created a major controversy with Brian and everything else about a month ago or so. You know who I'm talking about. But he would comment on it and stuff like that because I did one about thermal, and it's a picture of me in thermaled and a Bigfoot drinking water at a creek, and you see a thermal. It's a simple AI photo, and and they were and the discussion was what are the challenges of using thermal. See what I'm saying? Because Florida has its own challenges with thermal. I have thermal. It's very rare I use it because I do most of my stuff during the day for one. But in Florida, thermal is no good during the summer, even late at night, because the ambient heat, when you look through a thermal, it looks like the whole forest is on fire. See what I'm saying? So you're not going to see anything until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when things kind of cool down and you'll be able to distinguish things. Or it might be different up north. Um, but this particular person is very, very focused on a drone with a thermal. And I made the comment the only issue with that is, um, regardless, I fly drone. I have drone footage in some of my videos. You can't see past the canopy. I don't care if there's a herd of bear down there or there's an elephant. You're not going to see it through the canopy.
Right.
So this whole idea that he's going to solve the whole mystery with a thermal on a drone is not a legit argument. There is no. I have a ton of equipment because there's no one piece that does it all or is the do all type thing. You have different tools for different situations and different times that you're out and stuff like that. Um, but he was really the only negative one. But some people were giving me ideas that or their when they use thermal, the things they run into with humidity and stuff like that. I've not ran into a humidity problem with my thermal. I just run into the fact that distinguishing one thing from another with the ambient heat is extremely, extremely difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and from what I've been gathering from the chat that's going right now, I think I know who you're referring to, and he's just fucking negative all the way around.
All the way around. All the
He
way
needs,
around.
or she needs a hug.
Yeah, true that. And like I said, I don't call people out. I mean, there's platforms that do that, and the bottom line is it doesn't change anything. I can use Todd Standing because he's out there, and then everybody knows Todd Standing and his history and stuff like that, and all the negative things that come out with Todd Standing. He has not changed anything. He's got a super bunch of subscribers. He's still selling packages for people to come out and camp. So it has no effect. You can sit here and be negative all you want. It will have no effect. See what I'm saying? We have a researcher in Florida, I'm not going to mention a name, that is known to be crazy and put out some crazy stuff and people are scratching their heads. But he's so unpredictable that people subscribe because they're like, what is he going to say out of his mouth today? You know what I mean? And so when people do podcasts and bring him up and bash him, and there's been quite a few, it had no effect on him because people go to check it out what you're saying. So you're actually building his subscribership because people want to go check it out. Even if you don't subscribe, you're building his viewership. And views are very important.
Richard, after the show, you don't have to tell me right now who you're referring to, but I would like to know who exactly you're referring to down there because I'm not sure. But I have, when Brian and I have talked on that Bigfoot podcast, we talk about hoaxers and things. I always, something like that you said, Richard, I always go back to what was the movie that was made about oh my God, the shock jock in New York, the most famous
Oh,
shock
Howard
jock in the world.
Stern. Howard
Howard
Stern.
Stern. Private Parts, the movie, Private
Right.
Parts, Howard Stern. They polled people, and they polled the people that liked him, that enjoyed him. Why do you listen? And the answer was to see what he's going to say next. The people that hated him, why do you listen? To see what he's going to say next.
Absolutely.
And it's the same thing.
Two
People
things.
tune in to Todd Standing and the dumbass up in Ontario, Mike Patterson, I think. They tune into all that shit to see what he's going to present next.
Right.
And we know people don't put it together that we're just helping him by doing that.
Right.
I'm
And that's what
guilty
you're
of the same.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I mean? And I'm guilty of it myself because these particular people, I don't subscribe, but I will go
Yeah.
and check out their channel just to see what's new, what's going on, and what's happening and stuff like that. You know,
And we're just
I
we're patting their fucking wallet.
right. Another one, and not so much as a negative side of it, but he's a common person that has been recently in this past year working on a Patterson Gimlin film and stuff. And every one of his videos is new footage, new this. But when you watch it, there's nothing new.
Todd.
You know.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But when you watch it, there's nothing new. There is nothing. It's clickbait. You know what I mean? It's clickbait. I can do it on my stuff. I can just write the title of my video. Oh shit. And people are going to tune in and look at it. See what I'm saying? But I want to be honest. I want to be honest. You know what I mean? I don't want to lie
title
to
your
people.
next video, I was attacked by Bigfoot, and see how many fucking views you get.
I did one a couple years ago where the title was "We Were Surrounded," because we were. When you watch the video, we were, and anybody who ever wants to go back and look at that video, please put on headphones when you listen to it. You will understand what we're talking about. I've been doing this for a long time. That was the first time I actually pulled my weapon. First time, you know. And but it wasn't clickbait. It was, no, guys, we were surrounded, and I want you guys to check this out and stuff like that. And like I said, you know.
And you probably got more views on that one than most of your others, right?
No, I got to go back and look where the views are. That's when I was really working on the YouTube channel itself, because my history with YouTube was I had accumulated so much stuff. I was starting to get to the point where I had to. It was either delete stuff that I didn't want to delete to make room, or I needed a place to dump it. So I said, YouTube, it's free, and I can just dump it there and always go back and watch it. You know what I mean? So that's what originally started the YouTube channel, was a place to just dump stuff. Then people started subscribing and started blah, blah, blah. So I needed to learn YouTube. I need to learn editing. I need to learn things to make a better product, something more palatable for people to watch and enjoy it and stuff like that. And then I got into shorts. Now the shorts, just so everybody knows, is not Bigfoot related. The shorts are like commercials. You know what I mean? I do a 60-second of me walking through the woods, scenery. I want people to see the hiking, see the woods that I'm in, see the swamp that I'm in, and I put some music to it and stuff like that, and still get haters. You know, I did a Lady Gaga song or something like that, was very popular, and I liked the song. I'm not saying I'm a Lady Gaga fan, but I did like this particular song. And then I got this guy on there saying, "Oh, this video is trailer trash because of that song." You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, thank you for watching. You know what I mean?
I fucking hate people. I just hate people.
Yeah.
Well, what gets me is, why are you going to just, I mean, it lives rent free in their head. Why are you going to go in your comment section and be like, oh, it's trailer trash? Okay, don't freaking watch it then.
Right. And that's what I tell people all the time. And the person we were talking about earlier that I didn't mention, dude, if you're that unhappy, you know what I mean? You have to be living a miserable life. That this is your outlet, is to find something you absolutely don't believe in and ridicule those that do. You know, That's ridiculous. You are a sad person. And I pray for you. I hope that you find happiness because life is too short. Life is way too short to be unhappy all the time. You know what I mean? It's just if you're going to chain smoke and drink alcohol, do it on your private time. Don't get all liquored up and then come on and start bashing people. It's just ridiculous. I'm a very positive person, and I promote positivity, and I promote people getting in the woods and enjoying themselves and stuff like that. And we had a guest last night on Sasquatch Unredacted, and he was talking about that, about the ridicule he gets from telling his story and stuff like that. And I'm like, dude, just don't respond. Don't give them that. Don't give them, because they want to argue with you.
Yes.
Okay. Because the one thing they're going to do is they're going to come into that argument with you having to do all the proof. They're not going to do anything except keep finding ways to discredit you. So I said, don't give them an avenue. Just keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy the outdoors, and don't worry about those types of people. You know what I mean? Our chat, your chat, they're great chat rooms, really positive all the time. And if I have somebody negative, which luckily I have not, and I haven't had to do it, but I make it abundantly clear that I'm banning you. We don't need that. We don't need to promote that environment. And I'm not, by allowing you to continue on, then I'm basically giving my thumbprint of approval. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to do that. It's the same with people sending me different things that they have captured or pictures and stuff like that. They get upset because I decline it on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
And the reason is it's a blob squatch. It's crap. I don't want to put it on there, because if I put it on there, then I'm promoting it. It's on my Facebook page, and I'm approving it, saying, yay, this is good. And that is not the case. See what I'm saying? And I don't want to upset people. And I don't want to lose subscribers, but they take it so personally.
Oh my gosh, so personal. Like, why? And we're the same way. We had a guest on not too terrible long ago, and that's the pictures that I was sent. And I'm not putting them up here, because that's not what we represent. I'll put a picture up here and you can tell us the context of it, but only if it is, because not every brain is going to perceive this photo the way we're not going to look at it the same way you do.
Correct.
So if it's circled or if it's super pixelated, I'm not going to put it up here.
And that's what gets me is this is my cell phone, cost me $1,300, shoots amazing photos. And none of it's pixelated, none of it's blob, nothing's, there is more knowledge and power in this phone than the 1960s when we launched rockets to the moon. So why are we still today getting these horrible blob squatch photos? It's because they're hoaxing. They know when they put it out there, they are lying. They know that. They know that. You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous. And don't send it to me because it's not going to get approved. I literally had somebody, this is great, sent a picture, and I looked at it and I go, okay, that's interesting. It does look like a full body Sasquatch walking from right to left. I see a shoulder, I see an arm, I see a conical head. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it. And then I'm like, that picture looks awfully familiar. So I go into my archives. It's my photo. It's mine. And mine is so perfectly clear. There is no Bigfoot in there. They blurred it so much that the pixelation created this image. Okay. And if I was going to send it to you guys tonight so we can discuss it. It blew my mind that this person took my own, didn't realize it was me, and sent it to me and said, oh, there's a Sasquatch in it. And they circled it. Thank you. And so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And I literally put them side by side, did the same zoom they did, but my camera is so good that even zoomed in at the exact same size as them, there's no Bigfoot there. Same sticks in the way, same twigs in the way. Everything is perfect side by side. No Bigfoot. See what I'm saying? These people know when they send that stuff. He just got caught by sending it to, it's like robbing a bank and and handing the money back to them. You know what I mean? He sent the picture to me, and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean?
I fucking hate people.
Yeah,
I hate people, man.
you know,
Uh,
it's just
uh,
there are people out there. I tell people all the time, and I post stuff on there, but I don't participate on anything other than posting different things. But if a Facebook page has the word believer in it, that's where you're going to get the most ridicule. Okay, they're Bigfoot believers. There's like 10 different Facebook pages called Bigfoot believers, and they have 200,000, 100 and something thousand subscribers. Post something on there and see how quickly you find out that they're not believers. They want to attack you. They want to ridicule you. They want to give you a hard time. And that's what I said last night, guys. Come to my Facebook page if you don't want to be ridiculed and stuff like that. You know, as long as it's legitimate and it's good and you're respectful, it'll get posted and you won't get any ridicule. You know what I mean? If I tell guests all the time, if you want to come on my show, we're not going to give you a hard time. Same with you guys. We're not going to give you a hard time. It is your encounter. I am not somebody to say it did or did not happen. See what I'm saying? This is your account. You describe it the way you want to describe it. Be as detailed as you want to be detailed. But we're not going to ridicule you. We're not going to bash you live on the air or later in a post or anything like that. So, but there are places out there that do that.
I've given the example so many times, Richard, that, you know, I don't believe in mermaids. I don't think they exist. But I don't belong to a single fucking mermaid group on
Absolutely.
Facebook or any social media. I don't belong to one so that I can tell them how stupid they are for believing that mermaids exist. And take
Yeah.
mermaids out of the equation, and add anything that chupacabra. I don't belong to a single chupacabra group so that I can tell them that they're stupid for
Right.
believing in chupacabra. Why do people do it for Bigfoot?
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's an easy target. It's just an easy target. There are so many people that are not even non-believers. They're just very infatuated with this subject. See what I'm saying? But these negative people will attack those people that, you know, some people, like I said, they're not a believer. They just really like the subject, and they'll make a comment, and then somebody will call them stupid. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, and we need to change that. We do need to get to the point as researchers and as podcasters to get to that point and call them out. I literally, this is no crap, I have a list of names of people that I think are absolutely full of crap. And one day I might snap a bearing in my head and go on live and say, I'm calling these people out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I do have a list of people.
How long is your list?
It's about, well, I'm particular because there's some that are harmless, stupid. But the ones that are just, I don't know, they stand out among the crowd. So I want to say about 10. About 10.
The ones that I have a problem with are the ones that are taking advantage of other people and
Absolutely.
monetizing, making money, good money off of lying to people.
I will call one guy's name out for that right now.
Toss
I
standing?
will put him on blast right now for that exact reason you just brought up.
Toss standing?
Nope.
Who you got?
There's a guy that I haven't seen him in a long time, but it might be because I got him blocked all over the place. His name is Mark Landry. He was in Louisiana for a while, and now I think he's up in Arizona or something like that.
Was he in Tennessee for a while?
I don't know. He comes on with he creates his, and I caught him dead in a hoax. I mean, I caught him. I put the side by sides. I put him on blast a couple years ago, and of course he got extremely aggressive and verbal and stuff like that. You know.
Oh yeah.
But he's a guy that will come onto a Facebook page, and he has Facebook. He has multiple YouTube channels because he gets so messed up he forgets the password to get in, I guess. And I say that because you can see his progression through the years, how he's really, really deteriorated. But here's a guy that even Bristol says, I remember that guy. He's a guy that would come on these pages and stuff, or even on his YouTube channel, and everything he does is lies and created himself. Okay, I know this for a fact. Okay, I will put my hand on the Bible and say I know it for a fact. But after a while, after he builds up an audience, gets into it. Hey guys, I ran into hard times. I'm losing my home, and could you send me money? And it was all of a sudden, all the time when you heard from him, he was asking for money. Hey, my cell phone took a crap. Can somebody help me out and get a cell phone and stuff like that? And I'm sure there are people that probably reached out and helped him in one way or another, sent him $10 here, $20 there, But he's a liar. He was using the platform to illegitimately pull money from people. You know what I mean? It's different when we monetize, or we say, hey, to keep the show running, or to do this or do that, or if we have a big thing coming up and it would be great if we can convert the cost a little bit, instead of being all the time out of pocket. That's different. See what I'm saying? And you can show, hey guys, I just bought this new trail cam. Thank you guys, blah, 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 blah. You can show for it and stuff like that. This is different. This is somebody that is not going to give you anything in return. And then once he gets money, he disappears. He disappears. See what I'm saying? Then he'll pop up, create another channel, do something again, walk through the woods and stuff. And it's all fake. It's and the guy irritated me to no end. I used to tell people all the time, check your subscribers.
His name was Mark Landry.
Mark Landry. I said, I used to tell people, check your subscribers, go through your list on Facebook and see if this guy's in there. And if he is, I would advise you to get rid of him, because at some point he is going to ask for money, or he's going to do something or whatever.
He is a friend of mine. I got him pulled up right now. It says Mark Landry. I'm not a believer of Sasquatch. I'm a knower of the existence of the species. Clean and sober, 100.
Yeah.
If you look up, I had him scheduled to be on my show a long, long time ago, but I'll be honest, something told me not to pursue it.
Yeah. And I only call him out because he really, if he hadn't been so verbally combative and stuff like that, I would have ignored it. But it's been 2 years, and it still irritates me when his name pops up. So I shouldn't take it so personal. I really shouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's okay that you do, because it's people like that who make it hard for people like us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It makes it hard for the people in the chat room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's people like that put stuff out that makes us a joke.
Yeah.
That makes
100%.
people not believe what we're saying and what we're doing, or experiences or anything like that. It's people like that put out these blob squatches. There's another guy, he's getting out there a lot. He disappeared for a while, but he's back on the scene, and all his stuff is crap. It's fallen trees, it's stumps and stuff like that. It's very obvious.
Is his name similar to mine?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. It's funny we don't see y'all in the same room together. What's up with that?
I mean, I can't get past his fucking thong pictures.
Oh my gosh.
I see. I don't do that much of a deep dive, Lane.
He don't make it a deep dive, Richard, honey.
No, he puts it out there for everybody. He's out there in a fucking thong, dude, talking about how good his body looks.
I feel bad for his dogs.
I'm starting to think that he's not so much as a liar and a hoaxer, that
as
he's he's crazy, and he does it for attention. You know what I mean? And again, people will subscribe, people will look, because they're interested. What crazy shit's going to happen next? You know what I mean? So I get now if you go into it as a entertainment value, I'm all for you. You know what I mean? I mean, we got all these new AI videos and stuff like that that are funny. They're very hilarious. Even Brian's gotten into them a little bit. They're funny, but it's an entertainment value, and there is an entertainment value in pretty much anything. You look at Bigfoot Expedition, that show Expedition Bigfoot, and stuff like. They're entertainment value. They're absolutely entertainment value, and I watch them because it is entertaining and it passes the hour away. But do I look at it as true boots on the ground research? No, no, because when you're out there doing it, it's a whole lot different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually talked to someone, and I'm not sure if he wants to come on anonymously, so I won't like say his name or anything. But he had an encounter, he and his friend, when they were young. He's never talked about it. He talked about it with me on the phone the other day, but he's
Right.
never talked about it because of the ridicule factor. Nobody's going to believe me. And I'm like, honey, you just have to say it, because whether they dismiss you or don't dismiss you, that's your truth. That's what you experienced.
And we can cut his camera off. We can change his name. We can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh,
I told him.
absolutely. I've got a guy like that too. I'm not going to have him on the show due to other reasons. But his biggest thing was, he didn't want to be seen or anything, and that's an easy thing to take care of. You know what I mean? We can all do that very easily. But there was other reasons. I'm like, I don't think this guy's legit. Some other things that were said and stuff like that. Especially when people come at me. I'm a veteran. I have a law enforcement background, and then people come at me and say certain things, trying to explain that they're a veteran, and I can pick it out. I can pick it apart and go, okay, this person's not telling me the truth. That's not how it works. It's not how things happen, and so I kind of put them on the back burner. So,
yeah. All right. Well, we do have a few questions that we can get to. We've gone over an hour now. Doesn't even seem fucking possible. It seems like we've been talking for 20 minutes.
I know.
No, I'm all anything about Bigfoot. I'm all in. So,
yeah, let's get to some of these questions. First one is from Troy Two Fingers. How do you think we can once and for all prove or disprove the existence of the creature commonly referred to as Bigfoot?
Specimen. It's really what it's going to boil down to.
Yep.
Yeah. Even though people know that my goal in the woods is a 10-second video and I do video I don't do pictures. I do a lot of video because I want to catch it in motion. I want to see it moving. Kind of like the Patterson Gimlin film. There's so many things that you can answer when you see something in motion. You know what I mean? Let alone a still shot. And still shots are being destroyed left and right. People aren't going to buy it, stuff like that, because of the animosity from the negative side of it, creating that question mark all the time. But it will come down to a specimen. Hopefully, a semi truck hits one, because I really don't encourage anybody to go out and shoot one. Like I said, I did a discussion on it. I'm not going to shoot one. I'm not going to do it. So.
I'm not going to beat a dead horse. We've talked about that so many times, but I agree with you 1,000%. It's going to take a specimen. I'm not going to be the one to go out and bring in that specimen. All right, next question. From all these questions are from Troy.
No, not a problem.
Do you believe Dogman exists?
Am I going to upset anybody? That's the thing.
What's your opinion?
Well, it's an open discussion board.
Yeah. I've been doing this for a long time, and no, I don't believe there's Dogman. I think they're misidentified. I think that they could possibly be a Sasquatch, just a different looking one or something like that. Like I said, they're all different. But me personally, as much time as I spent out there, I have not come across anything like that. I have not seen anything that I consider a legitimate footprint or anything like that. And you really look at the history of Dogman in America, it's fairly, in years wise, new. See what I'm saying? It's more of a European thing. It's not really an American thing. So that's just where I stand. It's just my theory. Granted, when I do our podcast, we don't delve into Dogman at all. We don't delve into UFOs. We don't delve into anything like that because my plate is already full with Bigfoot. I don't need to add anything else out there. And if Dogman does exist, if it is real, I don't want to come across it. I just want to stick to Bigfoot and continue doing my research. So
Yeah, I mean, you could have just word for word what I feel about it. I mean, I'm right there with you, bud. All right, moving on. How large of an area do you typically cover on an excursion?
oh, that varies. Usually, if you watch my videos, I start off right away. Hey guys, I'm in the woods. This is what's going on. Blah blah blah. By the end of the video, I probably walked a couple of miles, but it's long miles where it I'm breaking off in the woods and going 1,000 yards this way, then coming back and going 1,000 yards. It's a lot of walking, so I cover a lot of area, even though I might only walk a mile, 2 miles, or whatever into the area that I'm researching. Now, if I do this independently, I don't have anybody else to go out with me. On the occasions that I do have another researcher that wants to get with me and go out, we'll do even more because being by myself, it's a safety issue. I don't want to get so far out that I can't get back in case of an emergency or something like that. So the places I go, I don't have cell service at all, period. You know what I mean? So other than a video, nobody's going to see it until they find my body. You know what I mean? So it depends. It really depends on who I'm with and where I'm at.
Yeah. All right. Troy, do you carry in the woods?
I do. I never ever go out
Amen.
without it. And
Amen.
and it is absolutely not for Sasquatch at all. I do not ever plan on taking a shot at one unless I tell people all the time, at least carry one bullet because the Sasquatch gets you.
Damn,
That
dude,
bullet.
have you just been listening to me and just repeating everything that I feel? Because
No, you're my mother. You're my brother from another mother.
I guess.
That one bullet is for myself because the last thing I want is see him holding up one of my arms. So, but there's so many other things that can harm us, especially down here in the state of Florida with hogs and bear and Florida panthers and alligators and snakes and stuff like that. So I do carry, but and humans. You're going to run into crazy. I told y'all that one day. I tell you the story about when I ran into badass crazy in the woods. You know what I mean? So, not that I would have shot the man, but I had the ability if it got out of hand.
Yeah.
So
I am so much more afraid of people than I am Bigfoot.
Yeah.
There's some crazy fucking people out there.
We live in a crazy world, man. It's not the same,
Last question is from my good buddy Alan up in Michigan. What is your opinion on the photo of the skunk ape behind some palm leaves? Looks a lot like an orangutan.
Yeah,
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah, very famous photos down here. The story is it was a senior citizen, an older lady. I want to say she was in her 80s, but I could be wrong. That actually took the photos and stuff, and then called law enforcement and whoever to say, "Hey, what is this thing? It's in my backyard or whatever." When you look at the photos, it's very intriguing. There is some red glow from the flash. When you look at the pictures in sequence, there is some movement. It doesn't look like it's overly tall, maybe 5 to 6 feet, somewhere in that range. It's hard to tell because there's not a lot to really go by. But it does look like an orangutan. It does, which it could be. It could be because we have been known to lose some primates into the wilderness in Florida and stuff like that. It's very interesting. I'm not going to say one way or another if I believe it or don't believe it. There's just not enough information given with the backstory in the photos itself. I've never seen a report or anything that somebody actually went to the location and did an investigation on those photos and everything else. So
yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Richard, tell everybody where they can find you, anything you got coming up, anything you want to promote. This is your time to do so.
Yeah. Well, Stormy asked a question real quick. She says, are you planning to do an expedition to Panhandle? No time soon. I'm open to anything, but it's about somewhere probably between a 6 to 8 hour drive for me to go up there. So, probably
Okay.
not anytime soon. Well, they can check out my research channel now. And I tell people, it's a little disclaimer. If you're going to subscribe to my channel and watch what I'm doing, don't expect to see a Bigfoot every week that I go out there and stuff like that. It's just not going to happen. A lot of time it's me setting up gear or investigating and watching and walking and checking things out. I'm basically taking people on the ride with me. You're taking this journey with me. And anybody that has every single week they go out and they've got evidence, they got this and got this, really brings up some red flags. You know what I mean? You're talking about the most elusive creature on the planet, but yet these people go out there and they find stuff all the time. You know what I mean? It just doesn't work that way. So, but it's entertaining. I'm out there. I'm very personable on the videos. So if you want to check that out, that is BFFG Bigfoot Florida Guy on YouTube. It's also BFFG Bigfoot Florida Guy on Facebook. And again, me and Johnny Two Bears, he is the founding person for the Sasquatch Encounter Brigade. You can also watch his videos. He's putting out some really good stuff because he has activity right there on his property. So check out Sasquatch Encounter Brigade, see what he's doing. And also he has the Facebook page of the same. But me and him have come together. We've created this podcast, Sasquatch Unredacted. It's called Unredacted because we're not going to cut anything out. We're not going to edit anything. It's your truth. You come on and tell us your story. Say what you want to say. And so anybody wants to check out that channel on YouTube, it's Sasquatch Unredacted, and also the Facebook page. The Facebook page, we just started this channel in December, so it is growing. It's small right now. I think we're roughly under 420 subscribers. But it's just a compilation. Me and him wanted to get together and do something together. We both love the subject, and we love talking to people that have encounters. I'm very big on researching, where he's really big on encounters. Not that I don't like encounters, but I'm more focused on research because I'm a forensic guy. I like, if I can touch it, smell it, feel it, measure it, that's the type of evidence I want. You know what I mean? I don't get into orbs and UFOs and all that as evidence. It's got to be forensic. Give me, except for hair. I can't afford to pay the money to have it tested. So,
yeah.
Very
all
expensive.
right, man. Good stuff. Good stuff, buddy. I appreciate you taking the time to come and hang out with us tonight. You are welcome back anytime you get any new info, anything else, just holler at us and we'll get you back on. But thank you for hanging out with us.
No, thank you for having me back. I mean, like I said, it was just a month ago, and me and Tiffany were talking, and she was like, "Man, I got an opening in a month ago. You want it?" And I was like, "Yeah, what the hell, And so here we are, part 2. So
yeah,
no, I enjoy it. Your show is great. I am a $1.99 guy, and
thanks for that, man.
So
thank you so much.
I encourage everybody to. Come on, man. It's $1.99. You know what I mean? If you're going out and drinking a sugar-filled Coca-Cola every day, you can afford $1.99 to entertain yourself and be around good people and stuff like that. So
exactly right. All right, buddy. You stay safe out there in Florida. Stay away from them damn fucking pythons, man.
Right now it's mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are the problem.
Oh, mosquitoes. Oh my gosh. At the wedding, it was so bad, Richard. At the wedding, like it had rained. So it was still kind of raining when we were all walking down there to the gazebo. And did eventually clear and get muggy, disgusting hot. But the gnats were all over.
I have a video and it's titled Mosquitoes 1, Researchers 0. I literally only lasted an hour and I had to go. I'm on the camera going, guys, I can't stand this. I've got to go. I'm wearing tons of chemicals on me and they were just destroying me. and you see it in the camera. You're just all these mosquitoes, and I was like, I gotta go. They win today. They win.
That's scary.
Mm.
All right, buddy. Take care out there. Thank you again for hanging out with us, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Anytime, man. Anytime.
All right, guy. Bye.
Take
Bye.
care. God bless.
Love him.
All
He's so
right.
fun.
Yeah, good guy. Always
Mhm.
fun when he comes and hangs out.
Yep, I agree. Yeah, he and I will shoot the shit on the phone and, texting. He's a good guy.
Yeah. All right. You got anything else, ma'am, before we get up out of here?
I don't think so. I'm going to go take me some
We
Tylenol.
got anybody coming up or what?
Hold on, let me look. Because I looked during the show and I've forgotten already. So today is the 28th. No, and we actually need 4 more shows for Tuesday. So July 1st, we don't have a show.
Oh,
We don't have a guest. We have the 1st, the 8th, the 22nd, and the 29th open. All the Saturdays are gone.
All right. Well, we'll work on getting somebody, and if not, we will come up with a missing persons case to cover.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go lay down, take some Tylenol, and just sob into my pillow because I can't drop it like it's hot anymore. I have to drop it like it's warm. Get picked up cold.
All right. I do not blame you, ma'am. I'm going to head to bed as well. All right, everybody out there, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with us, being respectful. You always are. We appreciate that greatly. And until we talk to you again, y'all take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.